Hello and welcome to my first ever Pokemon Nuzlocke. Now you're probably wondering, who in the hell would choose Pokemon Violet as your first ever Nuzlocke? And to that I say, it's cheaper than therapy. So let's get started. We name our player the Jester and send him out into the world. But immediately we run into the worst enemy in the entire game, the Dialogue. So after pushing A 1,000 times, the principal breaks into my house, calls me Mr. The, while my mom tells me to grab this hat I can't seem to take off no matter what. After that, me and the principal trespass onto my neighbor's property so he can give me a pet weed, and I can murder my neighbor's stripper dog, to the best track in the entire game. After brutally murdering her Elvis Presley ripoff, we go and catch our first Pokemon of the run, that being Pikachu, except he gained some weight. Then, instead of going to school like a normal 12-year-old, we decide to give our glorified bike our lunch, so that's neat, I guess I'll just go hungry. We enter the cave and roll our encounter, which ends up being a gumshoes, except we run just one small issue, that being we might have sorta kinda forgot to catch it. And now that we left, we can't come back until later. So instead, we'll go outside and meet Mr. Daddy Issues, who immediately wants to throw hands with us. So we'll send out Blondie Jr. to beat a squirrel half to death, and in response he calls a bike a dick. We roll our encounter for the next area, that being Psyduck, which for some reason starts mooning us. So against my better judgment, we'll catch it and keep this kinky little duck as far away from me as possible. We finally make our way to the school, but before we can struggle to open these doors that are way too tall to even work, our cracked out neighbor chases us down for a rematch, where I spend most of the fight just fixing my camera and glazing Nintendo's new music up. But even without me paying attention, we still sweep with ease. After doing the training scene from Rocky and pushing the same button way too many times, we finally get some new clothes and can take off this atrocious hat and burn it with fire. After pushing A for about another half hour, we can finally get back to our gumshoes, who we named Little Ricky. And while we're at it, we might as well get our next encounter, that being a Starly who we done Little Guy. Because, well, just look at the little guy. We do a lot of auto battling because I'm too scared to lose my Pokemon, but after a while we go to the gym to play soccer with an Olive. Once we finish that, we can go to the actual gym with this team: Sprigatito, Lechonk, Mongoose, Starly, and Psyduck. Sure, we're one Pokemon short, but I'm sure we'll clear this no problem. It is the first gym after all. We start the battle with Starly against her Nimble. While we do have one level up on them, I realized way too late that we didn't bring any flying type moves or fire against the bug type gym, so that's not great. We take a few hits, but instead of losing Starly, we swap out real quick, sending in Lechonk, which we really shouldn't have done because he immediately loses half his health. Lechonk takes another hit with 3 health remaining and puts Nimble down to 1, so of course we switch out yet again, this time into Mongoose. But would you believe me that Nimble has a super effective move, putting him at 15 HP on their first turn? But instead of backing down, we Terrestrialize for the speed, which we don't even end up getting, and attack him, finishing off and leaving Little Ricky at only 4 HP. With more than half our team on low health, we send out Sprigatito, who is also weak to the now Tarantula. Of course, we all know what happens next, so we'll switch out yet again. We send in Psyduck, who really doesn't do much damage, but we can't use him as a glorified meat shield while we heal Little Ricky. He is Terrestrialized and he did pretty good round 1. It goes back and forth for a minute before we eventually finish him off, leaving us with 25 health. So she sends out Teddiursa, her final Pokemon. For those of you wondering, this little bear is definitely not a bug type. Anyways, we leave out Little Ricky, who dodges Teddy's first attack and takes half health of his own. With her last Pokemon at half health, we're almost done with this gym. Except we don't all get to make it out alive. Little Ricky. Fuck! No! Damn it! No, not like that! Oh! After losing our star pal, Little Ricky, we switch into Wario, who is at 12 HP, but instead of healing him, we heal Little Guy. So of course he gets broke too. We'll then switch into Little Guy, who gets one shot at full health. With that, we only have 2 Pokemon left, Pikachu and Blondie Jr. But they're both super low on health, so we send out Lechonk and try to go in for the kill with Tackle. But we're not fast enough, so we lose him too, just leaving Blondie Jr. We try to use Scratch, which actually hits but doesn't do enough damage, leaving this to happen. Unless he misses? No, doesn't miss. Yeah. Oh my god! Why did the Starly have a damn flying move? Our whole team got wiped, so I guess that's it.